of Standard 6 Geography. We are trying to understand North America, and this is part 2 of North America. In the previous class, we were trying to understand North America as a continent, its location and extent. We checked for 23 independent nations, countries and capitals. We checked for two important physical features, that is Western Cordilleras and Canadian Shield. In today's class, we'll check for the Appalachian Mountain ranges, the Great Plains, which are also known as Central Lowlands. We'll check for the important rivers which is draining the continent of North America, and we will see the importance of Great Lakes. So these are the three important physical features on which we will focus. Coming towards the first important physical feature for today's session is the Appalachian Mountain Range. If you check map location of Appalachian Mountain Range, it is located on the southeast coast of North America. Towards the east, it is flanked by Atlantic Ocean. Towards the west, there are 5 important Great Lakes, and towards north we have the Great Labrador Plateau. Now, when we are talking about Appalachian Mountain Range basically is an example of old-fold mountain range. They are also known as residual mountain ranges, mainly because these are the result of glacial erosion. So once upon a time, these were the young-fold mountains, but now, over a period due to glacial erosion, these are the rounded peaks which forms the whole mountain range. Height-wise, average height is 1,500 meters, but it is not exceeding the height which is 2,200 meters or so. When we are talking about height as such, its height varies from west to east. So the western part of the Appalachian Mountain Range is on the higher side, and the eastern part, the height goes on reducing, so the slope is moving towards the eastern part. So as towards the eastern part, along with the slope decreasing, there are presence of bed mount plateaus. Now what are bed mount plateaus? Bed mount plateaus are the plateaus which are at the foot of the mountain range. So these bed mount plateaus are rich in some mineral deposits, which includes coal, copper, lead also. Along with this, there is a huge forest cover, okay, and this is the image of the Appalachian Mountain Range, which is having the forest cover. Now these plateaus, which is having some rivers which are flowing through the plateau region, due to the nick point or break in the profile, it has n number of waterfalls, rapids and cascades, and these rapids and cascades are used for hydel power generation. So the slide is explaining about the important features which I discussed just now. They are also known as Eastern Highlands. Its extent is 2.575 kilometers. Average height is 1,500 kilometers. There is the highest peak in this mountain range, which is known as Mount Mitchell. We'll check the picture of it. This is Mount Mitchell. And we have whose height is 2037 meters. There are several bed mount plateaus which are rich in mineral deposits. These mineral deposits includes iron ore, coal, zinc, lead, copper also. Then we have source for many important rivers in these plateau regions, and these plateau regions leads to the formation of very many rapids, waterfalls and cascades which help in the hydroelectricity generation. And since there are sheet of waterfalls, it is also known as fall line. This region also has a dense forest cover and it is rich in mineral deposit. So this is the highest mountain peak in the Appalachian Mountain Range, that is Mount Mitchell. Coming towards the next physical feature is your Central Lowlands. Now the Central Lowlands extend from River Mackenzie, that is the mouth of River Mackenzie, which is located here, and it extends up to Gulf of Mexico. So the green patch, whatever you can see in the central part of North America, moving up to the Mackenzie River and the surrounding areas, is your Central Lowlands. Now this Central Lowlands is again the result of glacial and river erosion. Now this particular plain region in the southern part is drained by two important rivers, that is River Mississippi and River Missouri, and because of which this region is a fertile plain. Now this fertile plain is helpful in the agricultural activity, and the important activity or the primary activity in this region is the cultivation of crops. Now when we are talking about the plains as such, these plains extent-wise, the east-west extent is 2000 kilometers and the north-south extent is 6000 kilometers. So this is the image of central lowlands of North America. Coming towards the rivers, the whole continent as such is having n number of rivers, and these are originating from different locations. So there are some rivers which are originating in western cordilleras, some originate in Canadian Shield, some originate in Appalachian Mountains. Now wherever they are originating, depending on its location, depending on the courses where it is flowing, whether upper, middle or lower course, it is fulfilling the uses like navigation. If it is a part of plain region, it helps in carrying the goods from one place to another, and it helps in the navigation process. Irrigation, it is used for agricultural activity wherein the water is pumped out from various rivers and it is used in the form of sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation for the agricultural activity. And the rivers which are the part of the plateau region, cascade region, and which fall through a nick point or from a higher elevation is used for running the turbines to generate the hydroelectricity. The very first important river is River Mississippi. Now, if you see the red line is the location of River Mississippi. River Mississippi originates in Itasca Lake, which is near the boundary of Canada and USA. Its mouth is in Gulf of Mexico, and this is the voluminous river, and it is the only river which is entirely flowing in USA. This is the image of River Mississippi. Then we have the next important river is River Missouri. River Missouri is the tributary of River Mississippi. Its direction is southwards. This particular river is the longest tributary of River Mississippi, and this is the image of River Missouri. The next important river is Rio Grande. This Rio Grande originates in western Cordilleras, and it moves southwards and then meets Gulf of Mexico. So Gulf of Mexico is the mouth of River Rio Grande, and this particular river forms the boundary between USA and Mexico. Then we have River Columbia. River Columbia is having a source in Lake Columbia in the western Cordilleras. It moves towards the western direction and meets the Pacific Ocean. And this particular river is important in the fishing activity. The image of River Columbia. Then we have River Colorado. River Colorado originates in western Cordilleras in the Rocky Mountain ranges, and it moves southwards. Its mouth is at Gulf of California, and it carves out a beautiful Grand Canyon that is through the Great Colorado Plateau. So this is the image of the Grand Canyon. Then we have River Mackenzie. River Mackenzie is having a source in Great Slave Lake. It moves towards the north direction and meets the Beaufort Sea, which forms the mouth of this river. This particular river is the longest river of Canada. Okay, this is the image of River Mackenzie. Then we have River Hudson. River Hudson originates from the confluence of Calamity Brooks range and Indian Passport range, and it continues southwards and meets a gulf which is the part of Atlantic Ocean. This is the image of River Hudson. The next important river is River St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence has the source in Lake Ontario, and it continues further towards the eastern direction and meets the Atlantic Ocean, and it forms the St. Lawrence Gulf. So this is the image of River St. Lawrence. The next important river is River Yukon, and River Yukon originates from Lake Yukon, and it continues to travel further in the west direction and meets the Bering Sea. This particular river for the most part of the year remains frozen and cannot be used for the navigation purpose for a longer period of time during the year. So So that was about the rivers of North America. Coming towards the Great Lakes, there are n number of lakes, but the major lakes are 5 in number, and these are known as Great Lakes. That includes your Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, and Lake Michigan. So this is a map showing the location of these important lakes. So this is your Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. To begin with, the first lake is the Lake Superior. This is the largest, the deepest, and the most voluminous lake among the all 5 lakes. Then we have Lake Michigan. This lake entirely lies in USA and almost the second largest lake among the lakes. Then we have Lake Huron. This particular lake is the third largest lake in the Great Lakes group. Then we have Lake Erie. This is the most shallowest lake. And then we have Lake Ontario. This is the smallest lake among all 5 lakes. We have an image here showing Lake Ontario, and this part is Lake Erie. If you see the surrounding parts of Lake Ontario, you can see many number of falls there, but an important waterfall is there, which is known as Niagara waterfall. Okay, we are talking about this particular image. This particular image is showing the Niagara waterfall, and the Niagara waterfall was formed somewhere nearly 12,000 years ago, when at the end of the ice age, when the ice started melting. All the water through the glaciers moved down, adding the water to river Niagara, and through an escarpment it came down in the form of waterfall. So this particular Niagara waterfall is having 3 important waterfalls under it. The very first one is known as Horseshoe waterfall, which is also known as Canadian waterfall. The next one is known as American waterfall, and the last one is known as Bridal Veil waterfall. In some places, the height of this waterfall is 176 meters, 176 feet or so. Okay, and this forms the boundary between USA and Canada. You have an image showing here the major landform divisions of North America. So comparing the part 1 and part 2 sessions, this is showing you the general physical features. So towards the west we have Pacific mountains, mountain ranges and valleys. Followed by that we have intermountain plateaus and basins. Then we have Rocky Mountain ranges. Then we have the central part is known as Great Plains or Central Lowlands or Interior Plains. Then we have the Canadian Shield. Then along the Hudson Bay we have Arctic Coastal Plain. Towards the southeast we have Appalachian Mountain ranges, which we discussed just now. Next, towards the east of it we have Piedmont plateaus. Then below that we have Gulf Atlantic Coastal Range. So this is the general map about the physical divisions of North America. Quick recall what we did today. We were trying to understand the remaining physical features. Out of that, the very first one was Appalachian Mountain Range. We were trying to understand its location, its important features. Then we spoke about the Great Plains, which are also known as Central Lowlands. We checked for the important rivers, its source, mouth, and its feature. And then we checked for the Great Lakes along with Niagara Falls. Thank you.